In this video, I'd like to show you one of the skills that's very important to master in order to play piano for ballet classes. Please use this video as an introduction and a brief overview rather than an exhaustive how-to, as there are many nuances to playing well for classes. As a ballet pianist, I generally play music in phrases of 8 counts. In addition to making sure my phrases are clear for the dancers, I need to ask myself, what does this movement sound like? What energy is needed, and what is the tempo? I can improvise or play prepared pieces for class, but it's always important to create the right energy through my playing for the dancers. I'm going to take the first part of Bach's Gavotte from French Suite No. 5, which has clear 8-count phrases, and I'm going to manipulate it in different ways to show you how you can use almost any piece of music for any ballet combination. I'll be using some ballet terms that may be unfamiliar, but I will define them on the screen for you. First, I'll just play the ink on the page. Now listen, here are the really clear 8-count phrases. We've got 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here's our next group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And maybe D7, you can go back to the G. So this is a piece I can use easily for classes, and I can use it in many different ways. Let's say I'm playing this for a warm-up tendu combination at the bar. The exercise is not too fast, and the movement the dancers are doing is not too abrupt or too quick. I'm going to add a little bit of stride to my left hand pattern. Maybe not quite that clear, but I'm going to outline the chords a little more without making the piece too harsh or too aggressive. Not like that, but I'm going to still play musically and without dragging the energy down, just in a way that helps the dancers warm up and get their feet stretched out and help them feel their positions. So pretty clear, it's a little bit of syncopation in there, but again, I'm not playing a whole lot of notes, I'm not making it real obtrusive or in the way. I'm just kind of making it a clear musical song that dancers can move their feet to. Now I could just loop that endlessly until the dancers are done with their exercise, until they turn around to the next side, but this can be very tiresome to listen to. So I'm going to take the phrases and I'm going to change the piece into E minor from the G major. This is an easy way to extend your music without becoming repetitive. So I'll play the beginning. And then so it's giving me more music to work with, and I can, I can play around with that and go between a major sound and a minor sound. Another trick is to take the tune and take it from major to minor. Now this has a different effect. People say minor sounds sad. It will make it a little, sharper sounding. And so use minor sparingly or appropriately for a class. This is something you can develop a feel for. But in general, you don't want to play too many minor songs in a row because it does have a tendency to bring the class down. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, take this from the major to the minor. And you know what? Another thing I'm going to start doing is when you play for ballet, not only do you play in 8-count phrases, but a lot of times you will play 4-count introductions. Sometimes teachers will count you in like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and then you start 1 and 2. Sometimes the teachers will demonstrate in the tempo that they want you to play at, and then you will just play the last 4 counts, the 5, 6, 7, 8 of the combination. Let me go ahead and play that now. So I'll do this in G minor with a 4 count introduction. I'm just going to do G, 5, 7. So I can make it minor. I did go a little bit out of there for a bit, but again, the 1 cadence and the 5 are very strong and easy to hear. Let's say the dancers have been given a warm-up plie exercise in 3-4, or sometimes the teacher will say in a 3. So I can take this same piece, keeping the 8 count phrases, and I can use it for a 3-4 meter. Now I'm not going to outline my left hand too much, like this, because I don't want to create a waltz feel or pa kind of sound, pa. But what I want to do instead is make it more gentle. I'll give the 4 count introduction, back to the 1 again. And again, I could go to the minor sound. And like I mentioned, I can also play it as a waltz with the pa kind of sound. This would be really good for waltz steps across the floor for dancers. So I will play the 4 count introduction, 1, 5, 2, 6, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, 8. As big and loud and full as you want, or as quiet as you need to. I can also play it as a big march if I need to. 4 count introduction again. So that might work for a grand bop ma or any exercise that has big movement that you need to move people. I can also play it lightly, as in, like, say for a piqué exercise. I'll do the 4 count introduction again. 6, 7. So again, I'm just changing the energy and the style, but the music is more or less the same. I could do it slower or faster as I need to. And that's another thing too, when you're watching the class, the teacher may speed you up or slow you down. So I could take this piece and I could even play it as a tango. That can be used for various exercises. One that is commonly used for is a fondue exercise. So the tango kind of feel is bum bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-dum. So I'll give you the 4 counts, 5, 6, 7. So those are just some really quick examples taking a well-known piece that people will recognize, and you can turn it around and manipulate it into whatever you need for the energy and style needed for the combination that the class is doing. Your job as a ballet pianist is to be the dancer's inspiration for their movement. Think about how different music has moved you, and then ask yourself, how can I as a pianist effectively help these dancers move? Try to think in terms of using a wide color palette of different musical styles instead of playing music that sounds monothematic. Ballet accompaniment is a difficult job to master, but if you know how to manipulate music into different styles and energy, you are well on your way to becoming an effective ballet pianist. If this is something that interests you, I would encourage you to find ballet classes to observe in order to learn the vocabulary and to get a better understanding of different classes and different instructors' teaching styles. I'll include some helpful links in the description below, and there are a handful of videos of classes on this channel and other places on YouTube as well that you can watch. Playing for ballet can be very rewarding, and when it's done well, is invaluable to the dancers. Thanks for watching, and please leave any questions below if you have them.